What is up, everybody? Everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, I am Wayne, your host. I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime, the lovely, the talented, the beautiful, the awesome Miss Tiffany. How you doing, ma'am?
Oh, I missed you too, buddy.
It's been a fat minute since we've been on here, hasn't it?
Yes, I was thinking about that today. It feels like it's been forever since we've had a show. And it's just been a week, but it feels like it's been like 3 weeks.
I mean, when we're doing like 3 or 4 shows a week,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
And then you're not here for one. You're like, dang, man, this sucks.
I know.
I'm just
What's
glad
been
y'all
going on with you?
nothing. Whole bunch
Nothing.
of nothing. No, I've swallowed a frog, as you can hear. I've got that nasty, when you're sick.
No, you sound better. You sound better. You need to go ahead and start recording some episodes.
I know, we need to do that too. Gosh, me getting sick just threw everything off. And I told Zach, I said, look, honey, I love you, but the next time you get sick, I'm sleeping in the living room because I always get it for worse and longer.
Y'all been married for like 30 years. You ain't figured that out yet?
Well, he doesn't like for me to have to sleep on the couch, and it makes him feel bad. And he doesn't sleep as well if I'm not in the bed. And it's just this whole big thing.
Oh, tell him not to get sick.
Amen. Don't get sick.
All you got to
do. Well.
Yeah. We had an interesting weekend, us manimal researchers. The reason we didn't have a show Saturday is because we were on expedition in the LBL. And while there, this happened. That's David Zagan's truck. Yeah, all hell broke loose. We were sitting at the picnic table, had the campfire going. It was all nostalgic. Everything was awesome, great, telling stories, had our beers, sipping on a little whiskey, getting ready to go live for this show.
Yep.
And then literally like less than 10 minutes before we were supposed to go live, the bottom fell out. We all started running to our cars. And do what?
It was awful.
It was awful. I took several videos, and I will share those at some point of what exactly we were experiencing. It was, God, I've never experienced anything like that. The lightning was coming one right after the other, the thunder, the wind. I mean, you see what it did to David's truck. Luckily, the only damage that happened to David's truck was his camper shell. And most people that would be okay, but with David, his truck is badass. It's completely decked out. He sleeps in the back. He has a bed back there. He has cameras mounted all the way around his truck, and then he has more cameras out around the exterior, and he has monitors and everything inside there where he can keep an eye on what's going on outside of his truck. He's got a little refrigerator, an AC unit, all kinds of stuff back there. So most people, a camper shell wouldn't be that big of a deal, but for him, it kind of sucks because that's his whole setup back there. But he was safe, and his dog Murphy was safe. He actually said that he felt his truck lifting up before the tree fell on it, and he thought they were about to get lifted up. So all things considered, everybody's safe. And I mean, it was scary. It was very touch and go scary there for a minute.
I know. I was sitting here just glued to the Weather Channel, and like y'all were like 30 minutes from Somerset, and Somerset had the EF4. London, Kentucky got hammered. I mean, there were lives lost. There were
like 20-something people got killed in this thing.
Y'all are like right here, and I'm like praying, Lord, please, please, please let them be okay. Just protect them. And he put y'all in this bubble. And the only thing that got hurt was a camper. So we'll take it.
Yeah. So, our hearts are out for those that lost loved ones, and those of you that were injured and lost things in the storms. It was terrible. I wish you all nothing but the best, but I really am glad that we came through with our little group out there.
Yeah, me too. Because you just feel so helpless when you're watching it
You're
happen.
completely helpless.
You can't do anything.
They got this little bathroom. It's like a concrete enclosure, and all there is a little breezeway. You walk in, and there's a singular toilet, and that's it. So it's probably the safest place around there because it's all concrete and enclosed. So that's where Miss Chris and the kids went. So they were okay, and I was in my Jeep. Troy was in his car, I think, and Gary. Oh my God, he was standing out there at the camper holding things down like canopies and stuff. And then he was literally across like 20 feet from David's truck and watched the tree land on David's truck. He took off running. I have this on film. He takes off running over there to check to make sure that David and them are okay.
That's wild. I mean, Gary's a beast. I'm here to tell you.
Gary's 6'5", like 350, or maybe even more.
I know
He's a big man.
When I meet him, I'm gonna have to like look up because he's literally like over a foot taller than I am.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all are okay.
Yeah, well, we are. We'll talk more about the trip, but we might even try to set something up. Goony Goo Goo. That is Gary. Thank you, sir, for the $1.99. We'll talk more about it. Maybe even try to set up a show, maybe Friday night or something. We'll come on and talk just about the weekend.
I think that would be good because when I went into the Facebook group and put on there that the live was canceled based off signal and all that, because at first that's what it was. There was somebody that answered and was like, well, what happened? And I was like, well, we'll do a show just solely on that.
Yeah, we'll try to do that. All right, guys, I know we're running a little bit behind. We're going to pay the bills. We're going to fly through those. But I do want to throw this up there. We made the announcement today. The 5th annual East Tennessee Squatch Out is not going to be held in East Tennessee. It's going to be held in southeast Kentucky, I guess that would be considered, at the Land Between the Lakes, where we were camping this weekend because we just fell in love with the place. It's a really
glutton for punishment. No.
Glutton for punishment.
I'm just kidding.
So, yeah, we already have our speakers scheduled. We haven't announced them yet, but I'm going to announce them right now. Mr. David Zagan, Bigfoot Forensics, is going to be speaking. We also have Dr. John Baranchuk, psychologist extraordinaire, Bigfoot researcher, and author, will also be speaking. Miss Mary Ann, the lady that puts on the Bigfoot expeditions in Missouri and Oklahoma, and I think she's doing it in Arkansas as well. Now she's covered up. She's an awesome lady, a very good friend of mine. She also does her own conference in Missouri. She will be speaking, and there's one more I haven't gotten confirmation on, so I can't announce him just yet. But he is very well known in the LBL area. I'll leave you at that. But yeah, Labor Day weekend, August 29th, 30th, and 31st. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then that Monday, the 1st of September, is Labor Day. So we'll all be heading home then. We're going to feed you for one, maybe even 2 nights. I'm not sure yet. Miss Naoma Finn is going to do her storytelling event on Friday night. So, yeah, the spots are limited. Contact me if you are interested. The spots are $30 a person. 8 and under are free. So if you have kids, they're free to come. But yeah, we're going to have it set up where there's showers and bathrooms and all of that good stuff. So yeah, the 5th annual East Tennessee Squatch Out is scheduled, and we are very excited about it. All right, let's go through some bills, ma'am.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. If you're new to the show tonight, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Before you leave, please hit that subscribe button.
And if you would like to be on with Wayne and I, you can reach out to both of us, Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com or me, Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com, and we'll get you scheduled.
ParanormalWorldProductions.com is our website. Please head over there, check out all of the other shows, sign up for the Bigfoot newsletter, pick you up some merch. It would be very much appreciated.
And if you have questions for tonight's guest, I know you will. Please just put them in all capital letters for me, because sometimes our chat here recently starts rolling and I don't want to miss anything. So please put them in all capital letters.
Manimalresearch.org, as you guys just heard me talk about our outing this weekend, that was a Manimal outing. That's what you can expect if you become a member. We would love to talk to you about if you're interested in becoming a member. Also, if you're having issues or believed issues on your property with what you think could be Bigfoot and you need it checked out, you need help with it, we would love to be the ones that you trust to do that. So we go out, we check on these things, we are looking for new members, and we hold these events like we do. So if you're interested in any of that, please check out manimalresearch.org.
And we ask that you give us the chance on becoming a channel member for only $1.99 a month. It gives you extra perks, giveaways, which we still have a giveaway we haven't forgotten about, even though it was like February. You have Discords, you have the chats, you have your personalized little Bigfoot logos when you're in the chat. It's $1.99. I mean, try us out for a month. If you think we're not your cup of tea, you can cancel anytime. So there you go.
All right. And lastly, guys, if you notice at the bottom, the Cash App and the Venmo are open. They're always open. If you guys want to help us out, you've been amazing in the past at helping us with super stickers. We want to offer this avenue, this particular way, as a different avenue for helping us out, because we are not hit with near the fees that YouTube likes to take. It's fine. I have no fault with it. They're in business, to make money like we all are. But we need it more than they do. And another plus is we get it right away instead of having to wait a month plus to get it. So if you guys would like to help us out with that, we certainly appreciate it. It is very much needed, and we thank you. The Cash App and the Venmo. If you'd rather do the super stickers, that's fine. We'll wait on it. It's up to y'all. Anything you guys can do is appreciated.
Yes.
All right, Tiffany, tell everybody about the gentleman that we have waiting backstage.
His name is George, and I am here to tell y'all he is a hoot and a half. Okay, me and Wayne were backstage laughing with him, and he is in Australia. Love the accent. He could totally be an audiobook narrator. You're going to understand when he comes out. But Leela McMichael actually sent me his information, and so she and I talked about it back and forth, and so I got him scheduled, and I'm just glad that he freed his time up. Now it's like 9:15 tomorrow morning for us over there now, so it's very interesting. But he's been a researcher for ever and ever and ever, so I'm interested to pick his brain.
Yeah, author, researcher, and just Bigfoot / Yowie extraordinaire, Mr. George Mitrovic. Did I pronounce that right?
Just call me anything except late for dinner.
Okay. All right, George, what's up, buddy? We appreciate so much you hanging out with us tonight.
Good morning or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and little big feet or Bigfoots, or call them what you want, and make sure they aren't late for dinner.
Little Bigfoots.
There are lots of reports of them.
Yeah.
You can't get. You've got big feet. You've got big feet women. You've got lots of little big feet or smaller big feet. God, trying to work that one out is fun.
Yeah.
They can't breed on their own. I don't know anyone that's managed that.
All right, man. We appreciate it. And again, it's like 9:30 where you're at, right? AM.
Yep, that's all right. When my English interviews, it's usually 5 a.m.
Lord mercy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
bad when they say it's going to start at 7 and the phone rings at 5 to 5 and it's get up. I mean, I'm going to be 70 in 2 weeks. Mind you, that's pretty amazing. I thought I'd be dead at 28. But
wow.
every boy's got to have a wild life at one stage.
There
That's
you go.
right.
There you go. You'll be 70. That's awesome, dude. Good for you.
Yeah, hopefully I'll make it. It's 2 weeks.
Well,
Anyway,
I think
we're
you'll
not
make it,
talk-
buddy.
we're
If
not
I was a
talking.
betting man, I would say you'll make it to 70.
You never know. The fickle finger of fate can go like that. And
You're
hopefully
right.
not.
You're right. All right. So,
Anyway,
George, if you don't mind, tell us how a young lad in Australia becomes so infatuated with Bigfoot. And I say Bigfoot, not Yowie, but Bigfoot, and starts writing all these books. What happened to you in your life that made you interested in this topic?
oh God. I was a weird kid.
As we are.
I read the Encyclopedia Britannica by the time I was 5.
Oh wow. Well, you're a smart kid then.
Well, I was totally immobile from a car accident, so all I could do was read.
Are you
So I
serious?
read. Yeah,
Really?
I'm not immobile now. I'm just
No, but
cranky and
seriously,
old
you
and
were
rusty.
immobile from a car accident, so you just
Yeah, I
read?
had it when I was 1 1/4. A Volkswagen ran over me. I hate bloody Volkswagens.
oh no.
Are you serious right now, or are you kidding, George?
I don't kid about things.
That's fucking fascinating, dude.
But it developed an ability to think outside the square.
Yeah.
My specialty is seeing differences,
Okay.
seeing what's missed by people, and seeing those things that are so obvious, no one knows them. I'll give you a little story.
Okay.
We'll get away from that early theme because we've now got 38 minutes to go or thereabouts. I believe in 3 schools of Bigfoot research, and they're both concurrent, and everybody loves them except for the people who follow the 3 schools of Bigfoot research, which I'm not going to discuss yet. I'm going to go to the main one I discuss, which is from amassing data. I mean, my last set of 9 books on the North American Bigfoot, that includes Canada, is 2,333 pages. That's just on Bigfoot in North America. In chronological order, some of them have states only, some have groups of states. You can go to a year you like, you can do whatever you like. They're written in easy to read words. I don't write for academics, I write for people like me, for you, for Tiffany. You just want to read it, enjoy it, get into the gist of it. One night, Randy and Andy, they're off for a drive, as you do at 2 o'clock in the morning. You may or may not have had a couple of beers. You may not. You may have. You're in the forest somewhere on the eastern or western seaboard of the United States, generally not in the middle bit, oddly enough. Bigfoot like trees, because they can camouflage there. Anyway, Randy and Andy have had a few beers. They're driving around like you do when you're a young fella. And it's time that, oh dear, we've got to stop. No, it's not because Bigfoot's here. It's because they got to relieve themselves, as the Americans so euphemistically put it.
Yeah.
We have another term in Australia, but this is a family program. Anyway, the boys get out of their Jeepster and they go out and they're yakking and or talking to each other and they're relieving themselves. The next second, there's this God almighty noise and sticks are flying through the air and somebody is exceptionally pissed off. And they look around and, well, who else could it be? It's 8 to 9.5 foot tall. It's got blazing red eyes. It stinks to high heaven and it is so annoyed. This is Anthropology 101. This is simian behavior. This is somebody telling you, piss off from my territory because it's mine. How dare you mark my territory? Because that's what the boys are doing. They're saying, this is ours. Silly boys. It's not theirs. It's our big furry friends who lives in the forest and is camouflaged with his coat colour so well, or her colour, or its colour. Now, if it will stick to him and her, I don't think Bigfoot has gone into that entire other nightmare. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
But basically, he's there saying, piss off. I hope that's not too rude for your program.
No, not at all.
Normally, being an Australian, I would use stronger terms, but I know how gentle the American psyche is.
I mean, well, we're already talking about transvestite Bigfoot, so go ahead.
Yeah. And so that's basically Anthropology 101. That's standard monkey, ape, and chimp behavior.
You're right.
Next time you're at the zoo, go into the chimp cage. They'll do exactly the same thing. And another funny thing, and that is one of the most often reported Bigfoot sighting event. Because people don't write about that sort of stuff because you don't write about that sort of stuff because, people might get upset by it or get their knickers in a knot or something like that. It's life, it's sex, it's animals, it's territory. Because the next most often reported event with a Bigfoot is Randy and not Andy, Randy and Mandy. Deep in the forest, it's dark, it's 2 a.m. They're obviously studying for their SATs, which they're doing naked. Okay, it must be a hot night.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously a hot night. We've all been in that situation. And next second, Mandy says, "What the hell's that, Andy?" And there, in the window, is a big face. A big, furry, interested face. And that's a very common event as well. And that's the second lesson of Anthropology 101. You go to a zoo, if you can find some bonobos somewhere, all they do is the wild thing. They're not like chimps who are angry and patrilineal. Bonobos aren't lineal in any way, maybe possibly and slightly matrilineal. All they do is do the wild thing all day and they don't wage war on anyone else. God,
Really?
It reminds me that I lived in the commune in the 60s. Anyway, that was great. 60s
Yeah,
and
I bet.
70s. I wish I could remember some of it. That was the other problem with the 60s and 70s. So, okay, we have these big furry creatures. They live in the forest. Their coat is the same as trees. And I've had a lot of reports of winter yowie, big feet with white coats. Like some breeds of jackrabbits, some breeds of foxes, some breeds of animals that live in the Arctic, they change their coat through the year. They change their coat colour to camouflage. If a jackrabbit can do it, a Bigfoot can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, we're still looking at a normal animal. They eat deer. They eat anything they come across. They create big scats of mixed animal remains and vegetable remains and basically what they feel like. They're very wary of us because all we ever seem to be doing is going into their forest with a gun. There's bloody Randy and Andy again. They brought their gun back. They're going to get this varmint. He's there. He's scared it. No, he didn't scare it. You're just back. We're going to show him. And he appears once and they fire. And they've been shooting squirrels since they were knee high to their grandfather's knee. How do they always miss?
I don't know. They seem to, though.
The third most common Bigfoot report. I shot at it. I didn't hit it. Strange when you can apparently shoot a squirrel at 200 yards with one arm behind your back. And you can't hit a thing that's 9 foot tall and 300 pounds.
Right.
So we have three evidences for Bigfoot. Mind you, there are some people who say that Bigfoot are vegetarians. They sit around singing their own version of Kumbaya at night.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
They're an advanced simian. They know us. They're hiding from us because we are crazy.
Yeah.
We're always trying to kill them.
Humans destroy things.
To an extent, that's only because they're constantly growing and don't know which direction to take and which way to be led by their herd leaders. But that's a different story. I'll leave you to cope with your herd leader at the moment. It's called nature, but it doesn't fit into established anthropology or established biology or established zoology. And all my books you see around me, and the ones in the top 3 shelves in the middle back with red covers and those 3 shelves, 4 shelves now, are some of my books. Every single one of them is a bazooka round on all the established sciences. I tend to go out as a sniper. I pick a subject, I research a subject, I grab the subject, and I say what's good about it, and I say what's totally useless about it. So far we've got Randy and Andy and Randy and Mandy and Randy and Andy going back for revenge and retreated quickly. I have 5 reports of Bigfoot being shot and killed. One from Canada in 1948. Another one, where was it? Some stupid mountain in Colorado. They never reported it because they thought they'd shot a human. And it's interesting that the 4th type of report is people who were going to shoot one looked in its eyes and realized that they were virtually going to shoot themselves.
Thought it was
But
a
this
human.
was another hominid being like themselves.
Right.
More so than an ape or a monkey or a chimp. And that would be a pretty freaky endeavor. So that's one lot of Bigfoot. We have another another American indigenous persons or Indians viewpoint of big feet being Wendigos and other names from their mythology. In Australia, the Aboriginals call them creatures from the dream time, though they have physical aspects. And the funny thing about some of the sightings, a kind of common sighting with Bigfoot, is the incredible speed they can run.
Yeah.
It's like they're flashing from one area to the other. So is that flashing from one spot to another? Or is that because they've got such long bloody legs, they've got such a greater stride, and we're standing there wondering what is going on? Word removed due to current sensibilities. So that's another school of thought, and it's been written around a lot, and the Kumbaya crowd like getting into that one as well. But interestingly enough, seeing I research so many different subjects, because I get bored and I like doing it, and I hate mysteries, there's a 3rd group of Bigfoots. Imagine this. 1954, October in France. France?
France?
France? France? Big feet in France? What are you talking about, you silly old coot? Or geezer, depending on which word you want to use.
Yeah.
We have the biggest UFO flap in French history, October to early November 1954. Everyone's saying, that's not Bigfoot, what's he talking about? Next second, UFO lands. The witnesses are rather startled. There's a bit of a mist. Who the hell is going to come out of it? You know, a tall blonde Venusian or a grey or a what? And the ramp comes down with a bang. And this creature that's about 4 foot tall comes out with big bug eyes and it's covered in hair. A Littlefoot from a UFO. There were 9 reports of little feet independently made in October 1954.
Are
Who
you
the hell
serious?
would
You're
make that
serious
up?
right now. You're serious.
Yeah, I've written about them.
In France.
In
France.
1954.
All over France, 1954, and eventually we move on. We have a few isolated examples of strange Bigfoot sightings. One interesting one, Point Isabel, Ohio, early 60s. 3 or 4 different occasions, people shot at Bigfoot and they hit it, and Bigfoot exploded. Excuse me? No, I only use published works. All my books have got bibliographies. You can find the original work it came from, so you can go backwards through it and see it. And I thought, hang on, this is getting very strange, if it wasn't strange to begin with. 1960, late 60s, 1968, 1969, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. This is 6 years before Star Wars was released.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. Hopefully we've all seen it. It's a great movie. I haven't seen it for years, but I still enjoyed it then. Actually, I haven't watched any of its sequels, but that's a different story. Large UFO arrives at Uniontown in Pennsylvania. There's a crowd there. They were having a party for something. Down it comes. Big ramp comes out. 7 to 8 foot tall, hairy hominid, looking exactly like Chewbacca, comes out and chases one of the people around for a while. You figure that one out, but it's published. It's out there in book form. Since then, there have been quite a few North American Bigfoot from UFO sightings. So where do we go? Which do we believe? Okay, let's scrap that lot. No, we can't. It's already been recorded. It's already been published. Okay, we'll just sort of pretend it's not there anymore. The Indian one, well, that's part of their heritage. We acknowledge that. We keep it. We respect it. We have to accept all three, because more and more sightings of all three keep appearing and keep getting recorded. And remember, scarcely 1 in 10 Bigfoot sightings are recorded or even acknowledged. The average person would come up from the backwoods and say, I saw a Bigfoot in a holler. I saw a Bigfoot in a holler. He's this tall, he's stank, he's got big eyes, he's got hair all over him, and he chased me. Cletus, you had too much moonshine, mate. You know, just go have a rest until it's all over. It was probably your uncle. The funny thing is, where are we? Where were we? What is my name? What am I doing? I know what I'm doing. But as usual, what I'm after is missing. So I'll leave it. There's a wonderful story from Tennessee.
I live in Tennessee. Let's hear it.
He's probably related to you.
Probably.
I'll give you the rough. It was a lady reminiscing about when she was a child in 1954 in the backwoods of Tennessee.
Yeah, I wasn't around back then.
This was well before most people had even heard of Bigfoot or Sasquatch or anyone like that. Maybe only a few trappers and the local Indians on the west coast, but certainly almost unknown apart from amongst the locals. And she writes about this in the 1990s. And I wish I could find it to read it because I love it. And she writes about this big fella called Whistling Patty. Whistling Patty used to visit their cabin. They were American, Indian, white mixes. No power, no education, no water. They're just in the hills with their stills and their relatives. And Whistling Patty used to come to the back door every night and they used to feed him potato peelings because that's basically what they had most of the time. Sometimes they couldn't because they had to eat them all for themselves. We forget how poor people were in the backwoods of a lot of the states then, and in a lot of other countries as well. I can recount visiting families with dirt floors in Australia who were still living in total poverty when I was young. But that's different stories. But this woman, she remembers this big creature. He was about 8 foot tall, covered in hair, and he stank, of course. But her Mima was always willing to feed him because he was always there and he visited for relatives, but the parents always made sure that no kid was allowed out at night because though they trusted him, they didn't trust him that much. And he was renowned for whistling. And this is, okay, it's a strange little story. What's the old geezer talking about? Whistling. There are hundreds of reports of whistling Bigfeet
Yes, there are.
across the world, not just North America. These little stories have more reality to me and truth to me than a dozen books written up by, I'm the latest Bigfoot journalist around and I'm going to show you all. Mind you, I'd like to do that too, but it has an honesty to it. Because this sort of person from that background would not make up anything. Why? She'd be laughed out of town. Maybe not her own town because they already knew Bigfoot or Whistling Paddy.
Does it say what part of Tennessee, George?
I've got it written down in one of my books.
Oh, it's not important if you need to look for it. I was just curious if it was maybe the Smoky Mountains.
The name of the town is right on the tip of my tongue. Except I can't read it there.
If it comes to you, that's fine, buddy.
Yeah, it's really annoying me. It's driving me crazy not knowing it. Yeah. Anyway, that's the depth of sightings that were never reported at their time. She didn't say this and write about this until she was 55, 30 years later. As I said, most sightings are never recorded. Most sightings of most strange phenomena, whether it's lake monsters, Bigfoot, UFOs, or whatever, are not cited. Which is a shame because I collate information. I draw
Is it
maps.
Etheridge, Tennessee, George? Etheridge?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Naoma. That's why I love you, ma'am.
It is Etheridge, or just out of Etheridge. So
Okay.
he's read the story of Whistling Paddy.
Etheridge or Naoma, where is Etheridge in relation to us? But go ahead, George.
I'm waiting for Naoma's response.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. It's just bringing it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Etheridge.
Naoma,
It's
she's the
my favorite.
best. Is she not the best? I love her.
It's my favorite Bigfoot story, and it's so real.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
what do? We've got all of these big feet everywhere. Literally. Interestingly, using maps in the set of books I was telling you about, 9 volumes of 2,331 pages. That was a lot of work, all in chronological order. I also do maps in them. And there are more Bigfoot sightings around Los Angeles than in Northern California.
Shut up. No, there's not.
Yes, there are.
Are you
Because I mapped them.
serious?
Yes, good old Google Earth. It's an amazing thing. I get Google Earth and I draw yellow things wherever there are documented Bigfoot sightings. And I publish them in my books. I do that with other sightings as well, because a map will show you much, much more than a whole lot of words. Like you've got, I'll give you an idea. Bigfoot sightings. We've got, where are we? California, I recorded 161 published ones. That doesn't seem like much. That's since 1841, I think. But they're the published ones. There'd be a lot more, but I don't use sightings where my meemaw was down in the woods somewhere and saw a Bigfoot. We don't know when. My apologies to your meemaw. I can't use it. I only use them where at Etheridge, Tennessee, a young woman saw Whistling Paddy. Her family used to feed it every night, and I apologize for the accent. I like it. I love that accent.
Oh, yeah.
California, 161. British Columbia, 54. Bigfoot in Oregon, 110. And the winner, Bigfoot of Washington State, 173.
Yeah.
But wait, from Alabama, and these are in alphabetical order, towards the beginning of California, 271. That's not bad for a few states. From Iowa to Missouri, we go to Colorado to Indiana, 359.
Well,
We go
Alabama
from,
to California is a long ass way, bro.
I know, but it's all the states in alphabetical order.
Okay.
There's no other way of doing it. I have done it another way, but it's even more confusing. And even just Colorado to Indiana, 359. And then when you get to Pennsylvania, I wish I could read Wyoming, 482.
Hmm.
It seems like not as much as you'd like to think it would be. But I found with a lot of research that book A copies book B, that copies book C, that copies book D, which is a shame because I can read the same reports in a dozen different books, often printed at different times. They're just not regurgitating. They're trying to spread the information, which is great. But it makes you think that these events are much more when they aren't. But the great problem with that is no one reporting anything. Do you understand what I mean?
I do.
But they're all still documented reports that have been published beforehand. Somebody's put their cojones on the line to publish the books with these in it. And it takes a lot of effort, a lot of money, and big cojones to do it. Because you're going to get everyone saying, what the hell are you publishing books on Bigfoot for? And I've published more on Bigfoot than any other author. Not just that set of books. There are quite a few others. And I've done them worldwide. I've done them in Australia, where incidentally the first Yowie sighting was in 1800.
Wow.
And the first white people only arrived as convicts in 1788, 12 years before. The Aboriginals had known about them back for the 100,000-year history.
Yeah, I
And
would.
people
I would be interested in learning what the Aboriginal said about the Yowie.
The Yowie is part spiritual, part real. It appears and disappears from between dimensions.
Wow. Okay.
I also believe it's the same as some are and some aren't. And they're spread all along the forested seaboards and the forested areas of Tasmania. Oddly enough, follows the same areas of population density, same as the Lost 404 map, which wanders around the place, and UFO maps. The edges of the continent, full of reports. The middle, bugger all. That's population density, not necessarily a number of phenomena. It's different ways of looking at data. Or data, depending on what you want to call it. I prefer data. Data sounds stupid. So I go against all the English-speaking world who've told me, it's data, you old coot. I can call it whatever I bloody want. English evolves.
That's right. You can say it however you please.
And I do.
Good.
I hope I've helped a bit with this morning and understanding the amazingness of Bigfoot. We know he's out there. But so far, I haven't found a record of anyone with one hanging on the wall of a barn
Yup.
or in somebody's den.
I bet there's some damn taxidermy Bigfoot out there somewhere. Some redneck in Texas has one.
There was one report by Ivan T. Sanderson, who's the founder of cryptozoology, along with Bernard Hovelmans. You know what cryptozoology is. He
Absolutely.
established it as the science. He mentions the Minnesota Iceman that was apparently paraded
Yeah.
from county fair to county fair to county
Yep.
fair and defrosted somewhere and no one saw him again. I apologize to Neoma. I will stick to speaking in English.
No, she's telling you to continue to say data the way you do.
Yes, please.
Because it sounds
Oh,
better.
I thought you took offense at me for trying to
No,
copy the
absolutely
American
not.
accent.
No.
It's funny when you talk with people, you pick up their accents.
Yeah.
You get me in a group of South Africans, and we're all South African.
I
Works for
fucking
everyone.
love your accent, dude. God.
I know, I
wish
can
you were.
listen.
I wish you were my grandpa. That's what I'm thinking
Wish I
right
was
now.
somebody's grandpa. I've only got a cat. Yeah.
You could be my
Sorry.
grandpa, bro.
Sorry,
You okay?
my wife died in December,
Oh,
so I'll apologise now.
No. Please don't apologize.
Anyway, it's now myself and Couscous wherever she is sleeping.
Oh shit, dude! I didn't mean that. I'm
Continuing
sorry.
research. No, you didn't mean anything. It's me just reacting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to be your grandpa. I'd like to be both of your grandpas. I still get a clip over the ear every now and again.
you can be my Grandpa George.
Yeah, Tiffany, you can be my wee Tiffany.
Okay.
And I can be your grandpa or your Gramps George, who doesn't take any shit from anyone.
That's
God
right.
damn, this show just took a turn. Okay, I'm sorry, dude. Just go. I didn't mean to do all this.
No, that's fine. I'm very emotional.
Yeah, I mean, understandably. My God, I didn't know, or I wouldn't have said anything.
How would you know? This crazy old coot talking. Anything possible. I won't apologise for that. It's the way it is.
Yes.
And without her, none of these books would have been written.
There you go.
So she's still here.
Yeah.
And she is.
And that could be a good or a bad thing. I often wonder.
Yeah.
That's great. Any questions?
Yeah, it's about time for us to get to the questions. Do we have any tonight, Tiffany?
Yes.
Kick him off the show, I think, is the first one. Yes?
No.
No.
No, everybody loves you. This is what we're talking about in the chat. Like, you have so much knowledge and you're so funny.
Yeah, your knowledge, your humor, your character, dude. This isn't something we see all the time, so you are very much welcomed here. It's been really
Thank you.
cool.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I never wanted to write books where it's 1863 and a Bigfoot was seen in Swampy Hollow. 2 months later, a Bigfoot was seen 2 miles from Swampy Hollow. Holy mother of God, how are you supposed to read that without going into a coma?
Right.
Swampy Hollow.
Swampy Hollow sounds
Yeah.
good.
Everywhere's got a Swampy Hollow.
Everyone's got a Swampy Hollow somewhere. My apologies to Neoma. Oh dear, Mike. The wolf
Mike
is released.
Why is established science so afraid of the idea of Bigfoot being real?
I'll have to be very quick. I have had hour-long arguments over this. I'll be very fast. I am the college and school system that taught you. And for you to succeed, you had to agree with me so you could get your degree by writing works that supported me. Then you got your tenure at a university, but you had to continue supporting me with your work. I'm not going to change everything now because of some apparent animal that we will continue to refute because we're not going to add it. That's basically it.
Yeah, when you admit that Bigfoot is real, I mean, you're going to have to go back and change everything.
Yes, then you got to change it for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It sets a precedent. It was hard enough for the poor old coelacanth, the fish that was found off Durban in Africa in 1936, to be acknowledged as real. You know, Now we acknowledge the coelacanth as real. But it took
I mean, that was a prehistoric fish. That was a prehistoric fish caught off the coast of Madagascar.
Yeah, it was said to be extinct. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of things are said to be extinct.
The Tasmanian
There's-
tiger.
We have
Yeah, I
no
still
idea
believe
what's living in our
I still
oceans,
believe
dude.
he's around. I'm still hate the Tasmanian government for leaving him out in the cold that night in 1932, where he
He's
died of the
pissed.
cold.
He's pissed, ain't he?
Oh yeah,
He's cold and he's mad.
poor old Tasmanian tiger. But there's still reports of him.
Yeah.
One day we might
Uh,
clone him.
let's move on to David's.
140 books, David.
George, with 40 books published and decades of cross referencing thousands of anomalous reports worldwide, how do you stay grounded in such a massive body of data?
I'm crazy. I'm a self-diagnosed Asperger's with ADD. I've got attention deficit disorder because I'll write a book and I'll stop in the middle of a book and write another
So
one.
you self-diagnose yourself with Asperger's?
Yeah, because I follow every single pattern of it.
Yeah.
Because I can design and create patterns of data.
I fucking love you, George.
And other people, I love you too, sweetness. I'll talk to you later.
How did I not know you existed?
Look, if I knew you, if I was there, I'd give you a big kiss like a bloke, like a man,
Like a
on the
man.
forehead.
A man kiss. There you
A man
go.
kiss on the forehead and maybe grab your ass, but that's different. We'd have a few drinks, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
I combine all of this data because all of this data provides themes. Themes are the unifying thing. How many times different things have happened in the one spot, but the only unifying thing is time and space. Where it happened, when it happened,
Yeah.
and how many times is the witness responsible for the view or what they see rather than what's actually happening. That's why we get the three types of Bigfoot. The one that actually does live here, poor old bugger, and his wife, and his kids, and long may he breed and prosper. And then you got the one that drifts in and out of dimensions very fast.
Very fast.
And out and in. And then you got the... Okay, explain that one. Everyone has the same hallucination today? No, people don't share hallucinations.
Right. You had written in one of your books, and I had actually read a portion of it, and I took a screenshot. That's what you made mention to. You said, let's see, since the year 1800 up until 1977, are there 402 liars? Several of them were before the discovery of the gorilla in the mid-19th century. If they do not exist then, what sort of illusion or hallucination are they? Not everybody's lying.
No. Most people are totally honest and real in what they say and what they see.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to get dissed like it's going out of fashion. Like poor Cletus, who came out of the holler after seeing the Bigfoot and was in a sleep.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Go off, have a nap.
It was your uncle.
Yeah, it was your uncle. You just don't let him get too close.
Cletus.
How could I not call him anything else? Now I know what the C stands for.
I've never in my life known what Cletus.
It's now Cletus Wayne. That's what the C stands for. A good Tennessee name.
All right, moving on. Troy,
Moving me out.
Have you had any sightings or encounters yourself?
Not with Bigfoot.
Okay,
No,
what?
sorry. Thought I saw a pterodactyl hanging off the lamppost once, many years ago.
Yeah, probably wasn't it.
In those dim, dark hours of early in the morning when you're subhypnotic, which oddly enough is when most sightings are made.
All right, one more from Troy. What are the major differences in the physical descriptions of the Yowie and Sasquatch?
None.
None. Wow.
Same
Good.
family. But there are lots of smaller ones. There are smaller yowies. I can't remember their name. There are smaller ones. There are medium-sized ones. The smaller ones are quite nasty. The big ones can be nasty at times, but most of the time just want to live on their own. And that's worldwide. North America, little known subject to books, is monkey men, 3.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, a lot found in North Carolina, South Carolina, along the eastern seaboard. Ask the Indian legends. I don't like that term Amerindian or Indian. They're indigenous Americans. They have their own nations. They have their own names.
That's right. That's right.
It's like one of my pet hates is people who call the mound builders mound builders. If somebody's going to build a pyramid bigger than Giza at Cahokia across the river from St. Louis, that's not a mound. It's a pyramid. They're the North American pyramid builders. And if they say it's only a mound because it's dirt, go talk to the people at Corral from 5,500 BC in Peru who built their pyramids out of dirt. It was, once again, we're looking at academia saying, North American archaeology, we want to get rid of it. North American cryptozoology, we want to get rid of it because we want to set our own mindset on this thing and establish it. I bite that thing on the ass quite often and they don't like it. But that's another interview which wouldn't even be on Bigfoot. Actually, my last interview on Bigfoot disappeared from being Bigfoot after the first half hour. He continued for 2.5 hours.
That's crazy how that happens.
It happens.
Man, this has been great, George. Yeah, we're right here at the hour
I've been
mark.
scared all through it.
You have been great, man. I would love to have you back. I will have you back anytime that you want, buddy.
I'd love to be back.
Yeah, we would love to have you.
I hope your people would love to be back. The ones who don't like me will rack off. I don't care.
Yeah, screw them.
Or come up with some good arguments against me. And good luck.
All right, man. What time is it in Australia right now?
It's now 9:59 a.m. The morning tea time.
A.m. Oh my God, I'm about to go to bed. I'm about to go.
We're 18 hours ahead of you because it's actually tomorrow.
It is. You're in the future.
From the future.
Hey,
We're in the future.
What's the lottery numbers? No, tell me what the lottery numbers are, damn it. Oh,
no idea. I don't know how to get them. Time is such a stupid thing. Thank you, Mike Wolf.
You are awesome, dude. Again,
you,
you're welcome back anytime, man. And I am so sorry that I made you cry. It was not.
No, you didn't make me cry. I'd love to be your grandpa.
Oh God, I don't know. But
I've got a non-blood family I'm going away to next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They regard me as their pa.
Oh,
you're awesome, dude.
Their kids regard me. Sorry.
You're amazing, dude. Oh my God, you're awesome. I don't want you to cry again. I'm gonna shoot myself in the fucking head.
I'm just a big cuddly bear.
Yeah.
I know. I just want to hug you.
If you were here right now, dude, I'd hug you, and you could grab my ass if you wanted.
No, I don't want to.
That's fine.
I'd rather grab Tiffany's.
There you go.
Nothing sexist on this. There's nothing to do with the
blah
blah blah blah blah blah whatever.
Well, this is the time, George, that I usually tell people to enjoy their evening, but I'm going to tell you to enjoy your morning. Okay, buddy?
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thank you for getting in touch with me.
Absolutely.
And please thank God. My memory's hopeless for people's names.
Is it Layla?
Layla?
Yes, the beautiful Layla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asking you to have me on board.
George, this is not the last time, buddy. This is not the last time. We're going to have you back.
Don't know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to sell books to eat. I can't even get a pension.
We're gonna have you back, buddy. This has been great. This has been one of my funnest shows I've done in a long time. I appreciate you.
If you want to send me an ad for it, I can put it on my Facebook page.
Okay.
I'll do it. we will
I like
definitely do it.
doing that. When you think it's about to be released or whatever, I'll just chuck it on.
There you go.
It's the least I can do for your courtesy of letting me in.
Of course.
Awesome,
There's a
buddy.
bloody accent again. Sorry, Nima.
All
And it's
All right.
Etheridge, Tennessee.
Etheridge, Tennessee. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, George. George, enjoy the rest of your morning, sir.
I've got to go see my urologist.
All right, buddy.
Well, tell them
It's
they need to.
old fella's disease. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you again. Have a good one.
Thank you both.
All
Thank
right.
you. All my love. Bye-bye.
All my-
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I wasn't expecting this show to be that
So-
fucking fun.
Honey. Love that.
That was good stuff. I felt so bad when he broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. You didn't do it on purpose. That's what he said.
No, I didn't. Yeah, he was fun, and I definitely hope that we have him back. That is sincere.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I have his and I have his information and
Yeah, good deal. We will stay in touch and all of that good stuff. To our audience out there, thank you so much for being respectful. You always are. We never ever have to worry about that with you guys. Anything you want to talk about? Anything before we get out of here, Tiffany?
well, I have forgotten what today is. Tuesday, yes.
Today's Tuesday.
Who do we have next? Richard Farabee will be on this coming Saturday.
Okay.
Bigfoot, Florida guy. So
All right, we might try to maybe Friday night instead of members only. We might do like a recap of the outing that we had just this past weekend.
I think so. I think people would love to hear about that.
All right, all of that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. All of the continued support. We love you. We thank you. I have to pee, and I have a daughter waiting for me upstairs. So we're gonna get out of here. These damn pills that the doctor had me on, these water pills. Oh my God, I can't go fucking 45 minutes without having to pee.
It's always an adventure, Waiter.
I know. All right. Love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.